Hey, I'm Aishwarya and I'm the founder of Entelligence, and I wanted to give you a walkthrough of what we're building and what it means to build an AI software engineering tech lead. We started Intelligence with a one goal. We want to enable large software engineering teams to ship as fast as smaller eng teams by reducing a lot of the engineering overhead and management and communication that goes on within larger orgs. So that's why we've built Intelligence, to be that layer between engineers and engineering management to help engineers, one, ship quality code faster. It takes care of their code reviews, security analysis, and keeps documentation up to date. And then for engineering management, we want to give them full quality analysis on all the code and engineering system, ensure that they can manage sprints automatically, set their goals, see what their teams are achieving, and also get detailed insights on every engineer, what they're working on, and what can be improved on as a team. So here, I'll go ahead and give you a brief walkthrough of how the system works. So first, let's start with the experience as an engineer, right? First, all of your pull request reviews are taken care of in your code base. We don't just look at an individual PR, we'll search across your entire engineering system. So if you make a change in one code base, how that affects another code base, we'll pull in linear tickets, Jira tickets, etc., to actually get the full context necessary to do a really in-depth review. And then on this dashboard, you can see key metrics such as what are the security vulnerabilities from the security scan, how many PRs have been reviewed, as well as kind of go ahead and look at any of the active PRs that are open for your code base. Additionally, we give full flexibility for you to customize our reviews to your company's best practices. Either you can put up a guideline doc, or what we allow you to do is to go ahead and choose a code base and then generate guidelines based off of all the historical comments that were left on this code base, and then go ahead and assign it to the code bases that matter most. This way, our AI system is actually able to learn on the fly and adapt to the types of comments and issues that you most value in your engineering team. And this makes a huge difference in actually making the code review quality very tailored and something that your engineers already find valuable from day one. Secondly, as mentioned, is we do a full code security analysis, and not just flag issues, we'll actually help you auto-remediate them so that your engineering team just has to look at the PRs that we put up, we'll check that it automatically fixes the security vulnerability, and you can actually reduce this number of security issues without having a huge backlog in your system. Finally, the other thing we realized, it's really hard to maintain up-to-date documentation on a very fast-moving engineering team, especially when engineers are starting to write more and more code and rely more on autonomous AI coding agents. It's very hard to actually keep up to date with how your entire engineering code base is structured. And thus, what we do is we'll actually create a PR for every code change that goes into the system and update overarching documentation to reflect those changes. So here, as you can see, take any code base, we will go ahead and map it into all of the main parts of the system and then give you those updates in real time so that you can both either ask it a question if you have any questions about how a part of the system works, and I'll answer that for you, or just kind of read through and see how the entire system is set up in real time. And again, this is maintained up to date with every new PR that gets added to the system. Now, as an engineering team lead, one of your main goals is to help your engineering team, one, ship quality code faster, stay on top of all of your engineers and what they're working on, as well as ensure that as a team, you're actually able to hit your product goals on time, right? So we want to enable you to do this and get all of the quality insights, not just metrics and numbers that you then have to go in and analyze on your own. So our system is built around enabling engineering managers and directors to achieve this. So first, we deeply integrate with AI analytics to ensure that you understand how AI is improving your team and how teams are contributing quality code over time. So here, as you can see, you can compare different teams over time. Our output score is based not just on number of PRs or lines of code, but actually analyzes every PR for code quality, security, documentation, testing, and so forth. So that way you can see what's the actual throughput for engineering team. You can also look at it per engineer basis. You can go ahead and see how this works across different teams. You can see this for like up to 6-month time period. So that way you're able to see any trends and how they change over time. Finally, we also look at how different engineers are using AI, how that affects their merge frequency, and give you kind of shout outs for engineers that are kind of outperforming on these metrics. Finally, again, lines of code. We have a variety of different metrics that'll give you a really detailed picture about how engineers are utilizing AI tools to improve their throughput as well as code quality. So here, as you can see, of all of these changes, we try to give you insights into what of them are working on new features, bug fixes, keep the lights on type work, how that's affecting turnaround time, code review quality, and engineers' kind of velocity over time. Finally, you can also look at a detailed AI analytics platform. We have full support for Copilot, Cursor, Claude Code, as well as a chart for individuals. Now, we pair all of these quantitative metrics with a full qualitative report. So you can not just understand and see the numbers on the dashboard, but actually what each engineer has been working on, how that correlates to your key products and launches, right? So for example, here, you can look over the span of 6 months for what an engineer or engineering team has been working on. So we've processed all the PRs, all of the tickets, all of the outages that this engineer has been involved in, and written it up in a very detailed contribution summary, right? So as an engineer, I can see how all the work that I've been working on, and for any team lead who's trying to get a snapshot of, okay, what are the main projects, what are the main PRs, what are the technical details that were done and impact, all put together in one place without having to waste an engineer's time in writing it up or an engineering manager to actually go and sort and cull all of this information for you. And then finally, as mentioned, it's really important for an engineering team lead to actually be able to see if the team is being effectively able to hit their goals, right? So we really optimize this around the sprint. So you can go ahead as a PM or an EM and put in the key goals that you have for your team. So here, for example, I want to clean up the new design UX migration, right? And then from there, go ahead and tag all the corresponding linear tickets that are most important for this, for hitting this goal. And we'll also automatically map all the tickets. Then once you hit, go ahead and save the goal. Ensure all the bug fixes. Go ahead and save the goal. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and give you real-time updates as to what's at risk for this goal and message engineers when we think they can more proactively address some of these issues. Again, it'll tell you the PR breakdown across the team, any security vulnerabilities, also give you a detailed analysis as to what's the most significant changes being made, what are the PRs responsible for that, so you qualitatively know what tasks were hit, some metrics around code quality and contributions. Additionally, we'll break it down per person, so you kind of see across the team who's been working on what and key kind of metrics. And then finally, we put all this together in an engineering leaderboard so that you and your team can actually see how you're contributing over time and how that's changing. And we actually give shout outs for the top engineers and top engineering teams. Awesome. Thank you. Would love to chat and answer any questions.